The Bodhisattva's effortless works. We read in the Avatamsaka Sutra, or the Dasabhumika Sutra, that up to the seventh stage, the Bodhisattva has endeavored not to be affected or contaminated by a life of evil passions or klesha, but has not yet been able to go beyond it, or samatikram. He is like a great king who goes about riding on a fine elephant. He knows thus that there are many poverty-stricken people in his country, but he himself has no fear of becoming one of these unhappy creatures. He is quite free, indeed, from such contamination, but he cannot be said to be a superman who has passed beyond the frailty of a mortal being. He can attain to this transcendental state only by abandoning his kingly position and being born in the Brahman world, where, enveloped in the celestial light, he looks down at thousands of worlds and freely walks among them. The Bodhisattva, up to the seventh stage, has gone through the world riding in the carriage of the paramitas, or virtues of perfection, and due to these virtues, he has been secluded from the contamination of this world, though he knows well that there are defiled lives enough there. But he cannot be called yet to be one who has gone altogether beyond evil passions and deeds following them. If, however, he abandons all his conscious strivings or purposeful efforts, that is, if he finally passes from the seventh to the eighth stage, and, riding in the Bodhisattva's carriage of immaculacy, walks through the world free from contamination, he is really one who has altogether gone beyond. When the Bodhisattva, thus discarding all effortful works, attains to the effortless state of consciousness, he enters upon the eighth stage, known as Achala, the immovable. But we must remember that effortlessness is the outcome of intense effort, and that when the former is not preceded by the latter, it can never be realized. Says the Dasabhumika, "It is like a man who, in a dream, finds himself drowning in a river. He musters all his courage and is determined at all costs to get out of it. And because of these very efforts and desperate contrivances, he is awakened from the dream. And when thus awakened, he at once perceives that no further doings are needed now. So with the Bodhisattva. Because of the great determination and the constant strivings that he has put forward in order to save all beings from drowning in the river of ignorance and confusion, he has at last reached the eighth stage, and once here, all his conscious efforts are set aside. His perception is not obstructed by dualistic considerations, nor by appearances." The Lankavatara also has this dream illustration, but its application somewhat differs from that in the Dasabhumika. Quote, "It is like a man's attempting to cross a great river in a dream. While exerting himself eagerly to cross to the other side of the water, he is awakened even before getting there. Being awakened, he thinks, 'Is this real, or is this not real?' Then he recalls, 'This is neither real nor unreal. That which took place in the dream is due to the discrimination that has been going on since the beginningless past as regards forms and figures in their multitudinousness, the discrimination that is the outcome of the memory experienced in seeing, hearing, thinking, and cognition. It is not to be viewed by the categories of being and non-being. It is to be regarded as something that has been experienced during a dream by the Manovijnana. It is likewise with the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, who, passing from the first stage on to the seventh, realizes at the eighth that no discrimination has ever been proceeding in him, that all things, as they are seen in full realization, are like Maya, etc., that all things are free from the imagination that longs for seizing and being seized, and that the mind and what belongs to it appear as the result of discrimination. Seeing all this, the Bodhisattva strives to realize everything that belongs to the Buddha. He enlightens all who have not attained enlightenment. This is the Bodhisattva's nirvana. It is not annihilation. As he is removed from citta, manas, manovijnana, and thoughts of discrimination, there is in him a patient acceptance of all things as unborn. O Mahamate, in ultimate truth or Paramatha, there is no gradation, no continuity, no imagery, no discrimination, and this is known as the truth of solitude, or Vivitka Dharma. Close quote. This effortlessness is again compared in the Dasabhumika to a great seafaring boat. When the boat is not yet at sea, much labor is needed to make it move forward, but as soon as it reaches the ocean, no human power is required. Let it alone and the wind will take care of it. One day's navigation, thus left to itself in the high seas, will surely be more than equal to 100 years of human laboring while still in the shallows. When the Bodhisattva, accumulating the great stock of good deeds, sails out onto the great ocean of Bodhisattvahood, one moment of effortless activity will infinitely surpass deeds of conscious striving.